Hello, everyone. Welcome to another live coaching workshop. I'm just going to pull up our slides for today's workshop on unproductive and why we get stuck. Hope everyone is getting excited for Thanksgiving. I know I am. One second. Here we go. And I'm going to keep my screen open for a little while. I might hide my camera after a little while. I've been told from last time that I was talking too fast. So I'm going to talk a little slower today. And I hope that helps. Let me just connect to our Facebook Live and our YouTube channel. And so we're going to stream now. Give me one second. Obviously, that's still not working. So we'll just stream live to Facebook or we'll just stream live to YouTube. One second. Still 403 error with YouTube. I have to fix that. Give me one second. We'll go to Facebook Live. Continue. All right, let's get started. All right. So today we're going to talk about being unproductive and why we get stuck and what we can do about it. You might think that success is challenging and failing is easy, but it's really quite challenging to be unsuccessful on a consistent basis. It requires several habits that aren't easy to create and maintain. Chronic ineffectiveness also requires an overall inaccurate belief system, poor attitude, and many years of honing an overall system that guarantees failure. It's a skill, like anything else. It's not easy to come up short like clockwork. Those that fail consistently are true experts that have mastered their craft. The good news is that it's just as easy to be successful. Success requires the same commitment to consistency. It's also necessary to be consistent at a different set of actions. If ineffectiveness comes naturally to you, it's likely you have what it takes to be a great success too. So, what we had needed to discuss are the errors detailed in this presentation making you ineffective in life. If so, you'll be glad to see easy strategies you can use to reverse these habits. Fail to make a decision. If you're truly committed to ending up nowhere, never make a decision. In fact, failing to make a decision is the same as choosing chaos and failure. Life is messy. Not making decisions invites chaos into your life. The only way to combat the disorder or entropy which exists throughout the universe is to make decisions and work towards them in a productive fashion. So try these strategies. First, set a deadline. Give yourself a sufficient amount of time to make a decision and then force yourself to make one. The deadline might be 1 minute or month, but set a reasonable deadline to gather the necessary information and make a choice. Know your value. What's most important to you? Do any of your options resonate more clearly with your values than others? And know your goals. Make your decisions in line with your goals and you'll rarely make poor choices. Do you struggle making decisions? Progress comes to a halt until a decision is made. Make your decisions quickly and wisely. A mediocre decision pursued relentlessly can give good results. Make wise decisions and point your life in a positive direction. Trust your gut. When it comes to making big decisions, it's often best to trust your heart, but logical with little decisions, but go with your gut on the big decisions. Flip a coin. No, you're not going to leave a big decision to chance. Flip a coin and then check your emotions. Before you look at the coin, you'll notice the part of you is hoping for a particular result. That's your answer. Consider your ideal life. If you don't have a vision for your life, create one now. Consider where you want to be. It's much easier to choose a path once you know where you're going. Align your decisions with that objective. Do a benefit cost analysis. Make a list of pros and cons and make an intelligent decision based on the facts. Think about the short term and long term implications. Those that struggle sacrifice the future and for short term beneficial benefits or relief. If all else fails, let a wise friend choose for you. Everyone has that friend who lives a charmed life. Ask for ask for ask for advice and follow it. Just be sure you're not trying to avoid taking responsibility for your life. A wise friend can be great help if you're truly stuck. Do you make poor decisions? Most of the challenges you face start with a poor decision. Give your decisions the reverence they deserve. Avoid procrastinating, but make wise decisions. Your success in life will truly grow. Change your mind frequently. The best way to get any traction in life is to either never make a decision or to change your mind constantly. Regularly change your plans is a great way to feel like you're doing something without ever making any progress. It's ingenious. You know the type. The person that decides he's going to medical school and then decides 3 months later to become a musician. He buys a guitar and decides to become a professional blogger before the first set of strings is worn out. It's insidious. The person feels like he's doing great things. He has big plans, and any of them could be viable. However, they'll never be fruitful unless he can stick with a plan. Stick with your decision using these methods. Realize how ineffective it is to change your mind constantly. It's no different than starting in St. Louis, driving 3 hours towards Miami, then 3 hours towards New York City, and then 3 hours towards Dallas. Where do you end up? Not the place you plan to go, and not somewhere you want to be. Make a habit of following through. It's easier to maintain bigger decisions if you maintain your smaller decisions. Follow through on your plans to meet your friends when you clean the garage, clean the entire garage, wash all the dishes, even the crusty frying pan. Avoid leaving it until morning. Imagine a positive outcome. When you're feeling bogged down, it's because the present is uncomfortable. Turn your attention to the ideal outcome. The doubt and frustrations you're feeling will melt away and stay grounded in the present. You can only change your mind if your mind starts to wander. Pay attention today. Avoid looking ahead at all the work that lies in the future. Successfully manage each day as it comes. Only have short term focus. It's more enjoyable to eat a banana split or a tofu sandwich on whole grain bread. Is it more enjoyable? Is it more pleasurable to watch your favorite old movie for the ninth time or to spend that time at the gym? One option is much more enjoyable in the short term, but adds to your long term pain. The best long term choices aren't much fun in the short term, it's a cruel joke. The mindset is the primary cause of procrastination. Instead of asking yourself what would feel good right now, ask yourself what you can do right now that will benefit you in the future. One tofu sandwich in place of a bacon cheeseburger might not have an impact today, but it will make a huge difference if you make it a habit in the long run. Maintain long term focus. Imagine your decisions replicated every day for the next 5 years. What would the logical results be? Imagine eating that banana split each day for 5 years, 5 long years. Will your physique and health be better or worse? Imagine saving $200 each month instead of spending it mindlessly. Where will you be in 5 years? What is pleasurable in the short term is often detrimental in the long term. blame others on our circumstances. It's easy to be remarkably unsuccessful by blaming others. The other downside is that there's nothing you can do if something else is at fault or someone else is at fault. The best thing you can do is hope that they'll step up and fix the situation for you. However, when you take responsibility, you give yourself permission and the motivation to resolve your challenges. It's possible that you had a horrible parents, were made fun of by your third grade teacher, had a boss that enjoyed making you miserable, lacked talent, lack education, and old or young. The list goes on. If you want to be successful, it's important to take responsibility for everything in your life, good or bad. While the circumstances may not be your fault, no one else will take responsibility for improving the situation. You can fix anything if you're willing to hold yourself responsible. Any other perspective creates a sense of helplessness. Even if you lack talent, education, or opportunities, using those as excuses accomplishes nothing. A lack of talent can be overcome with hard work. A lack of education can't sign up to a library full of books. Create your own opportunities. No one's parents attended formal parenting school. Even if you were born horribly mistreated, the only sensible option is let go and get on with your life. Realize that your past choices have resulted in your current situations. Your current choices will determine your future situation. Avoid blaming outside issues for your predicament. Take control of your life by taking responsibility for everything in your life. The saying goes, with great power comes great responsibility. It's just as accurate to say, with great responsibility comes great power. Use your power. Only take action when forced by time and constraint or circumstances. Waiting until you're forced to do something is a great way to turn your life into a mess. Wait until you lose a job before you look for another one. Wait until your lease is over before you find a place to move. Don't work on your work or school report until the last possible minute. Don't pack for a trip until the last possible second. Avoid buying an anniversary gift until that day. It's a wonderful way to make your life much more difficult. You earn extra points for the one in the game. You earn extra points for this one in the game of becoming as ineffective as possible. There are several issues for procrastination. You can't find the most elegant solution. You can't find a great job if you give yourself enough time. You can study for the big exam properly, giving you enough time. You can't do either nearly as well by waiting until you're out of time. The best solution requires time and thought. You're limiting your resources when you wait. You can't predict the outcome. Discovering that you're out of clean socks 5 minutes before you have to drive to the airport isn't fun. You can't predict what you'll need until you get started. You lose control. No one wants to procrastinate. Each time we do it, each time we do it, we swear we'll never do it again. It's frustrating. Things can quickly get out of control when we procrastinate becomes a habit. It's stressful. Forced action is stressful, it's uncomfortable, and too much stress lowers performance. Your options are limited. If you wait too long, you're often put in a situation that requires taking whatever life hands you. Procrastination has numerous disadvantages. Avoiding your responsibilities eventually leads to disaster. When one strategy doesn't work, consider doing the opposite. It's possible to control yourself and get used to working before time pressure arrives. It's a skill you can practice. You'll get better at it the more you do it. So, take action and take control. Give yourself plenty of time. Consider the worst scenario and give yourself that much time at least. Get started. There's no advantage to putting it all off. Remind yourself that you can relax after you've finished. It's much more effective than doing nothing and worrying now. Only worry even more while you're trying to complete the task. Do your work and then enjoy the downtime. Remember all the damage you've caused by procrastinating in the past. Avoid repeating your mistakes. Imagine how nice would it be to do your best work without some type of threat hanging over your head. Take action before it's necessary. You don't need the adrenaline of chaos to motivate you. Only visit the doctor when there's an obvious problem. It's much easier to be ineffective when your health is poor. When your ability to move, breathe, and think is impaired, effectiveness can be seriously limited. It works even better when you're constantly worried about poor health. You might feel great, but many ailments don't present symptoms. Hypertension. High blood pressure isn't noticeable until it's extremely high. You can feel 100% normal with blood pressure high enough to cause significant damage. Check your blood pressure regularly. Diabetes. Sure, there are symptoms. However, those symptoms only appear at very high levels of blood sugar. You can have a problem for years before the symptoms appear. High cholesterol. Whether your cholesterol is very high or very low, you still feel the same. These are just a few simple examples. Many other medical conditions don't present obvious symptoms. The most effective way to maintain your health is to be proactive. Get a regular checkup and your physician regardless of how you feel. Think of it as an oil change for your body. You allow an expert to work on your car, let an expert work on your body too. Expect the worst, focus only on the negative. Effectiveness requires action. One of the most effective ways to limit your activity is to focus on negative outcomes. If you're thinking about asking out the attractive woman at the bank, imagine her laughing at you and telling her friends about it. Or imagine your business idea resulting in bankruptcy and homelessness. That's an awesome way to ensure you don't do anything. We all attempt to predict the future when making decisions. You employ this strategy even when you're looking for a snack. You consider your options and imagine how you'll feel when you're eating it. The truth is, many outcomes can't be predicted. The only way to know the truth is to try. Avoid assuming the worst will happen. Consider the real risk. In many cases, the only really real risk is ego. This isn't a real risk. Consider the risk and decide if you can handle it. Focus on positive outcomes. Once you've decided that the risk is manageable, imagine a positive outcome. When the future is appealing, you don't have to motivate yourself or force yourself to take action. It will happen automatically. Visualize success on a daily basis. Reward yourself for any positive movement. Even the small step forward is worth a celebration. How your brain views the future has a major impact on your motivation and actions. Maintain a positive image of the future, and your motivation will remain high. Negative expectations, on the other hand, would take all of the wind out of your sails. Have a desire to change. This is the most important. Who wouldn't want to lose weight or earn $1 million? It sounds great. There's a big difference between wanting to change your life and the willingness to change yourself. Unfortunately, the former doesn't happen without the latter. Changing your life and changing yourself is significant work. You might want to lose 25 pounds, but are you willing to eat in a healthy manner, exercise regularly, live a healthy lifestyle, monitor your weight regularly? It's easy to want to be better in life. It's much harder to transform yourself in ways that invite those better things into your life. Make significant changes in your circumstances requires changing your habits and yourself. Ask yourself what type of person you need to become in order to achieve the results you desire. How will your priorities change? Determine which habits you want to drop. If you want to be rich, foolish spending might have to become a thing of the past. Look at all your habits and determine which ones are holding you back. Determine which habits you want to add. Look at others who are already successful in the ways you wish to be successful. Emulate their positive habits. What can you do each day that will ensure your success? Change slowly. It's tempting to make a lot of changes quickly, but this rarely works. A few small changes each week are all that you need. Build on the previous week's success. A few simple habits can provide astonishing results. Transforming yourself is hard work. Making a significant change in your circumstances also requires making a significant change in yourself. Become the person that deserves the success you seek. After that, everything is easy. Demand perfection from yourself. An effective way to paralyze yourself is to demand perfection. Perfect outcomes are impossible. Demanding perfection also results in anxiety and negative thinking. If there's only one particular way to be successful, everything else is a failure. When you expect failure, you won't take action. Demanding perfection isn't useful if your goal is success. However, if you want to be ineffective, it is a powerful strategy. Stop demanding perfection from yourself with these strategies. Stop worrying about the opinions of others. Your drive to be perfect is likely tied to your need to impress others. Do you want to know a secret? No one cares, and everyone else has other things to worry about. Focus on being effective and practical instead of perfect. In school, 90% look as good as the report card as 100%. Let me repeat that. In school, a 90% looks as good as on a report card as 100%. Life is no different. A 90% success rate is more than enough to have an amazing life. Embrace imperfection. It's the natural state of all human beings. Be productive, be proud that you completed your task at a high level. Perfectionism destroys productivity. Learn from your mistakes and move on. There are many ways to render yourself ineffective. A lack of direction and decisiveness are two primary culprits that foster ineffectiveness. Without an objective, there's no destination. Without a decision, it's impossible to take the first step. Keep your focus on the long term and take responsibility for your circumstances. It's easier to blame others than to deal with the situation, but you give up your ability to turn things around. Avoid the common habits and mistakes that render most of the population ineffective. It's just as easy to be effective and successful. Make small, sustainable changes to your life, and you'll be much more effective. Thank you again, and I hope you enjoyed this coaching workshop on why we get stuck and what we can do about it. If you want to stay current with our coaching, for those of you who are viewing us on Facebook Live, you can go to our website at elevatelifeproject.com and you can sign up for our newsletter. In addition, if you haven't already, you want to gain a little direction in your life, take our 3-minute life purpose quiz to discover your true purpose by going to elevatelifeproject.com/purpose. And remember, aim higher, elevate your life.